Travel is more than sightseeing, it's about connection and the stories we share. In a small Lisbon cafe I sat with my map, but my heart craved something deeper than tourist spots. The cafe buzzed with local life, clinking cups, soft Portuguese chatter, sunlight on cobblestones. I realized the real adventure wasn't in my plans, but in the unknown. I folded my map, deciding to let the day unfold on its own. This is the magic of travel. The possibility that something wonderful is just around the corner. You have to be open to listen with your whole heart. I finished my coffee, feeling a mix of peace and anticipation. I was ready for an adventure. One that would find me, not the other way around. Sometimes the best journeys begin when you put the guidebook away. I looked out the window, the city alive with stories I hadn't yet heard. I took a deep breath, letting curiosity lead me. The heart of travel, I realized, is found in moments of spontaneity. I was about to discover that the most memorable stories are the ones you never plan, and it all started in that little cafe. Just as I was leaving, an older woman with kind eyes sat beside me. She smiled, her bag filled with fresh bread, and struck up a gentle conversation. We talked about Lisbon, its beauty, and her lifelong memories here. Then, she leaned in and whispered, "You seem to seek the real places. The guidebooks miss the soul of our coast." She spoke of Azenhas do Mar, a village clinging to a cliff, white houses, red roofs, and the ocean's song. Her words painted a vivid picture, a place where time slows, untouched by crowds. It wasn't just a recommendation, it was an invitation to see Portugal through her eyes. She wished me a wonderful journey and left as quietly as she'd arrived. I sat there, her words echoing in my mind. Sometimes a stranger's whisper can change the course of your entire trip. I felt a pull toward this hidden village, a sense of destiny. The heart of travel, I realized, beats strongest in these unexpected encounters. I knew I had to go. The adventure had found me. All it took was a simple conversation. I finished my coffee, feeling the thrill of possibility. My journey had just taken a new turn. I'd never heard of Azenhas do Mar. It wasn't on my map or in my guidebook. My logical mind urged me to stick to my plans, but my heart raced with excitement. What if I got lost? What if it wasn't as magical as she described? But the best travel memories are born from leaps of faith. I remembered her kind eyes and genuine smile. She had nothing to gain by sending me there. Trusting her felt like trusting the spirit of travel itself. I realized the real stories begin when you let go of control. So I took a deep breath and decided I would go. The anticipation was electric, a mix of nerves and joy. I felt like a true explorer, guided only by a whispered name. I left the cafe with a new sense of purpose. My journey now had a direction not found on any map. Sometimes the universe rewards those who say yes. I was ready to find out what waited for me beyond the guidebook. The adventure had truly begun. The next morning I set out for Azenhas do Mar with only a name and a sense of purpose. I navigated Lisbon's Rossio station, then found a local bus with help from kind strangers. Each interaction reminded me of the goodness in people. The train ride revealed rolling hills and wildflowers, a side of Portugal I hadn't seen. On the bus I was the only tourist, surrounded by locals living their daily lives. As we neared the coast the air turned salty and wild. The road twisted along cliffs, anticipation building with every turn. An elderly man smiled and pointed out the window. Soon, finally the driver called out, "Azenhas do Mar." I stepped off onto a quiet road atop a cliff, the ocean roaring below. There were no tourist signs, just the wind and the sea. For a moment, I felt lost. Then I looked over the edge. The village appeared, more beautiful than I'd imagined. White houses clung to the cliff, red roofs glowing in the sun. The Atlantic crashed below, wild and untamed. I realized I'd found something special, something no guidebook could offer. The journey itself had been an adventure. Sometimes the unknown is the most rewarding destination. I was ready to explore. The view was breathtaking. Whitewashed houses with red roofs cascading down the cliffside. At the bottom, a natural pool carved into the rocks met the crashing Atlantic waves. It felt like stepping into a painting. I wandered down a winding stone path surrounded by quiet beauty. No crowds, no souvenir shops, just the sound of seagulls and the ocean's mist. Flower pots brightened windows, a cat napped in the sun. I found a small restaurant with a terrace over the sea. João, the owner, greeted me with a warm smile and recommended the fresh catch. The meal was simple, delicious, and tasted of the sea. Joao shared stories of the village, its fishermen, and the history of the pool. It felt like lunch with an old friend. Afterward, I walked barefoot on the sand, feeling the ocean's energy. The waves' power made me feel small but deeply connected to nature. I felt peace and gratitude. This was the real Portugal. The soul of the place was in its quiet moments and genuine people. I had found what I was searching for. Sometimes the best discoveries are the ones you never expect. This hidden gem was more wonderful than I'd hoped. As the sun dipped lower, I realized I'd lost track of time. The last bus was leaving in 10 minutes, up a steep cliff. I rushed, but reached the top just as the bus disappeared. Panic set in. I had no hotel, no taxi, and the village felt suddenly remote. Then, Joao pulled up in his old car, concern in his eyes. "You missed the bus?" he asked. I nodded, embarrassed. Without hesitation, he offered me a ride to the train station, 20 minutes away. During the drive, he shared more stories of his life and family. His kindness turned my panic into one of my warmest memories. It was a powerful reminder. People are good, and help often comes when you least expect it. The generosity of strangers is the true heart of travel. I thanked Joao, feeling grateful for his simple act. Sometimes a small kindness can change everything. The day ended not with stress, but with connection. I left Águas do Mar with a full heart. My experience in Águas do Mar changed how I travel. I used to plan every detail, seeking control and safety. But letting go led to the most memorable moments. The real soul of a place isn't in monuments, it's in quiet conversations and acts of kindness. The woman in the cafe and Joao weren't just strangers, they were guides to a deeper world. Their openness showed me a Portugal I'd never have found alone. Following a stranger's advice wasn't just about a pretty village, it was about opening my heart. Now, I leave more room for the unknown. I still research, but I listen more, talk to people, and welcome detours. This new approach has made my travels richer and more meaningful. Every trip becomes an adventure of the heart. The best stories come from saying yes to the unexpected. I've learned to trust my intuition and the kindness of others. Travel is about connection, not just checklists. The world is full of hidden gems, waiting for us to be open. I'm grateful for every unplanned moment. That's where the magic happens. The greatest lesson I learned was about trust. We're taught to be cautious, but sometimes openness leads to the best experiences. Trusting a stranger in Lisbon unlocked an unforgettable adventure. Trust is a bridge. It connects us, lets us see the world through new eyes. The woman in the cafe and Joao didn't have to help me, but they did, out of kindness. They trusted me to appreciate their home. This reminded me, the world is full of good people. Travel reveals the truth. There's kindness everywhere, if you're open to it. The real beauty of travel is in human connection. It's a lesson in humility and gratitude. Be open to whispers, to detours, to the unexpected. The greatest journeys begin with a simple conversation and a leap of faith. Trust in the journey and in the goodness of people. You might find a piece of your own heart in a place you never expected. That's the true gift of travel. My journey to Águas do Mar was more than a trip. It was a story of connection and trust. These are the moments that make travel meaningful, and I want to share more of them with you. There are countless hidden gems and incredible people waiting to be discovered. By sharing these stories, we build bridges of understanding and celebrate our shared humanity. If this story inspired you, join me on future adventures. Subscribe to our channel and become part of our community of travelers. Your support helps me keep sharing these heartfelt journeys. Thank you for being here and for being part of this adventure. Let's keep exploring the world together. I can't wait to see where we go next.